Meta finally managed to actually improve their hand occlusion, but it's still not system-wide. It still depends on the developer's decision. So if I go into a fully immersive environment, as you can see, when my hands are static, the occlusion is fine. It's not perfect like on the Apple Vision Pro, but it's still better than what it used to be on the Meta Quest. But as you can see, the creepy effect is that they've got only hands occlusion and not full arms occlusion, which is a scary and creepy effect. As you can see, it's kind of creepy when you see your hands chopped off in midair. So this, at least with the latest update for the Meta Horizon 2.0 or 2.1, so in case they'll roll up system-wide hand occlusion, it's gonna be pretty fun. I've just tried Galaxy XR, and they have similar issues because obviously Samsung and Google tried to apply to Android XR things that they've learned from Vision OS for the Apple Vision Pro. So this is exactly what they have. Maybe they have a solid mask or occlusion tracking, because as you can see, sometimes when I move my hands fast, my hand is actually moving faster than the mask is moving. But it's gonna be a decent improvement if Meta will nail this one down. And they've already added it to the new keyboard that they released for Surfaces, so that's nice. I'm actually using now SpaceFrame, which is an application. And as you can see, this is Meta's default hand tracking for VR and also AR experiences without occlusion or masking. So I don't see my real hand. They leave to developers who want to do hand occlusion instead of the old-fashioned virtual gloves, which I hate because this reminds us VR veterans experiences from 10 years ago. So that's why VR AR companies will try to imitate Apple with hand occlusion. Now, once again, if you do hand occlusion, it's better to do it for full arms because that's a creepy experience. Because when you see floating gloves, virtual gloves, it's not creepy because my hands are not chopped off. But whenever developers do this, which is nice for mixed reality experiences, so if I go and hide the sky, I'm gonna go back to mixed reality experience. As you can see, at least my hands are not behind the menus. And now you can see that the masking or the occlusion is not perfect. So that's why Meta probably want to do a software update to turn this hand occlusion into a system-wide one, because without full arms, you can see that the illusion breaks because right here my hands are above the keyboard. I can even go through the keyboard and you get this kind of depth or maybe magical experience. But whenever I keep doing this, as you can see, my arms are not included. So this is very creepy because that's almost like this keyboard slices my hand, chopping my hand. So that's not the best experience. I hope that Meta will use their hand occlusion. Actually, they've got a pretty solid hand SDK, and they also track hands and, to my understanding, even the full body and even legs. But for some reason, they are not rolling it into a system-wide feature, so developers will be able to create Apple Vision Pro-like experiences, which is weird because it's been 2 years exactly since Apple actually launched their headset, and Samsung and Google tried to copy Apple with their Galaxy XR, but it's not perfect. And Meta actually panicked, and for the few months just after the Vision Pro release, they've made so many software updates, but only to improve the pass-through and stuff like this, which is great, but not to improve their OS. So now they ditching the metaverse and going back to the OS, Horizon OS, and putting focus on this. I hope they will learn from Apple and do some better stuff because they have to. Otherwise, they'll fall far behind Apple because Google with Android XR is kind of overtaking Meta almost in all fields except gaming. So Meta headsets are now focused on gaming and not on enterprise. So let's see where this goes. Anyways, that's all for me. See you later.